Bloomberg Audio Studios.
Podcasts, radio, news.
It is crisis that makes a show. Single best idea, and the crisis not so much coming out of Monday or Sunday evening when we realized in Tokyo the world was blowing up, but just really an extended crazy summer culminating in last week, which was as nuts as I've ever seen day after day, and then into the fun and games of Monday morning and the recovery that we've seen Tuesday and Wednesday. It's just about conversations where so many people, quite frankly, are all saying the same thing. They're all reading from the same hymnal. But there's nuances and distinctions. Here are two of the 15 conversations I could give you with distinctions. And here first is a bombshell. No one has done the bond market better than Ian Lyngen, with a shout out to David Rosenberg in Toronto. But Ian Lyngen of BMO Capital Markets absolutely nailed sub 4% 10-year yield. Price up, yield down. He goes further. Ian Lyngen looking out 24 months.
Well, we will be pushing back below 3%. Now, that's not going to be this year, but that is certainly on the horizon for, let's call it, the next 24 months.
You are modeling sub 3% 10-year, 2.95%.
Yeah, by the end of 2026, very doable.
Extraordinary. I can't tell you how lonely that call is right now. We will see Ian Lyngen with BMO Capital Markets, a very nuanced call, which is linked directly into the economy, and he kept circling back to where Bruce Kasman of JP Morgan is, which is not U.S. disinflation and the worries we all have at the grocery store, but the idea of global disinflation. And I'm going to circle back, as I've said in the show. I'm sorry if I'm boring you, but Wei Li's comment from BlackRock last week of her modeling of her China at 3% real GDP is without question the most important thing for America I've heard. You get a China slowdown from 7% ages ago to 5%, and you come down, and Stan Fisher would say, 5 to 3 is 2 divided by 5. I think my math is that's a 40% lessening of real GDP oomph in China. Did I do okay on that, Eric? Good, I got it. I'm the only one doing a podcast, and the engineer has a Kufel-Nasser slide rule out, being sure my math is okay. Ian Lyngen there with a shocking call below 3%. Audrey Childe-Freeman holds court at Bloomberg in London, Queen Victoria Street. And she is writing for Bloomberg Intelligence. You see it on the terminal. We keep it very exclusive in that. And she has a very twisted view because she's truly continental. She's got a different view than what I'm going to call Anglo-Saxon and particularly American FX analysis. Audrey Childe-Freeman trying to frame out yen. Remember, folks, from $160 yen, stronger yen down to 140 something, and the shock of trying to get back to a weaker yen.
We've gone to 142 intraday on Monday. We're back at 147 today, just on the BOJ rate mentioned this morning. Yesterday, we were at 145. So what I need to see first is the new kind of range that we base ourselves from 145 to 150. And that's where I kind of expect it to be. And if so, what do we do? And what I do is I wait for, the next trigger to move lower. And I kind of feel that next trigger may come from the US, but it won't be as extreme as what we've seen in the past few sessions and weeks.
Audrey Childe-Freeman there on FX and on the Japan effect. Really can't say enough about the value add we're trying to do in economics, finance, and investment and international relations. It has just been, it's been like an 8-month-long summer is sort of where we are. We're sort of benumbed by it. We're going to continue the energy forward here into this August. And all of a sudden, really, yesterday was the first day I put radar on Jackson Hole. This will be a different Jackson Hole. We've got a different plan, a different schedule, but many of the same people. I want to keep the names private now because everybody's schedules are in flux over who will be there. But all of a sudden, Jerome Powell's speech at Jackson Hole is front and center. We do that in the vicinity of August 22nd. We're out on Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, both of them coming out with new software to win the digital radio game. On YouTube, we are humbled by the last 3 days response. Thank you. And on YouTube, it's just simple. Subscribe to Bloomberg Podcast, Building Every Day. On Apple Podcasts, it is single best idea.